conversation this morning on men knowing what they want. Today's all about relationships, and I'm not going to be having conversations alone. I have two men in the studio, but we have our special guest here with us. His name is Daniel Alaneme. He is an actor, a voiceover artist, and so many other things in that box that we're going to be uncovering this morning. Good morning, Daniel. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm very great, and I'm loving this. I don't know what it's called. The neck piece.
It's a cowrie neck piece. I don't like when it's dangling all the time. I like stuff
Something
like this.
very tight.
Yeah, tight like this. Yeah.
It's so cool. It's very nice. Well, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
All right. All right. Ade, why are you smiling?
No, it's just no. It's just no.
I don't know what you're thinking about.
I don't know what you're thinking about.
Okay, I'm gonna let you know now, Daniel. The whole studio has been excited since yesterday that you were coming on tea or coffee this morning. So we're very excited to have you in the studio, myself included, not just the ladies.
Why are you treating that?
No, not just the ladies.
So the thing is, we have a group. Like, we have a group, and I've already outed him that, Ade is so happy this morning, guys.
No.
Apparently, I was fangirling you because I met my fellow anime fan.
Yeah, right? She can't.
She can't understand.
I mean, I don't watch anime, I watch cartoons.
Mate, you cannot be included, sorry.
Okay, fine, whatever. Anyways, let's talk about what you do generally. So, he was telling me about your Instagram and how you impersonate characters and all of this. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I am a voice actor. I've been running for almost 5 years.
Amazing.
Yeah, I do impressions, I do impersonations, I narrate, I do commercials on the radio, on TV. You know, I don't keep it to one side. The impressions thing was just over the years. I watched a lot of cartoons. I was always in front of the TV. You know, so it would be fun to play back these voices in my head. You know, while I'm just watching it, because they sounded really cool. You don't hear this kind of things every day. So for some reason, I was able to just keep those voices, you know, and try to replicate them with my own tone. You know, it's kind of difficult, but you know, over the years, if I practice and keep practicing, it just comes to you naturally. You know?
Yeah, that's so cool.
Can you do one? Can you do one? One of
right
the
now?
Anyone.
Give us something and then let us guess. Let's play a quick game. Give us something and then let us guess.
Yeah, let's guess. Do any character
that we may relate to.
Yeah.
Please don't do anime because I don't know it.
No. I would have
do the classic cartoon.
If I was to do a classic, like I would probably want to do something that everyone knows.
Yeah, let's do one.
Okay. Let me think. You watched that video, right?
I did.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm the one that may not know it.
Sorry, let me just pick something which I remember real quick. So you know Marge Simpson, right? You watched The Simpsons.
Oh, okay.
You know Marge,
right,
yeah? Okay. All right, let me see if I can do something here. Excuse me, it's still early. Honey. Something like that. I'm sorry. Now we have to feed the kids. Did you hear that? It takes like sometimes I have to practice every day.
Yeah.
So the voices can stick because it's different tempos, different. It's kind of hard to do most of the time because you know, it takes a lot of practice, like I said.
How about Daffy?
Well, Daffy requires a lot of speed. I'm so sorry.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Cool. Yeah. That's cool. But anyways, the thing is, we're going to get into the conversation this morning on mixed signals. And we started the conversation on if men knows what they want. And we, of course, we established that guys know what they want really, because there is no two ways about it. I mean, there's this part where you're so not sure of who it is that you want to marry, but you definitely know that this is the girl that you're dating is probably not the person that you're going to end up with.
Sure.
And I mean, because we took a story. She was from Diary of a Niger Girl. She was just talking about how when guys say they are not ready, it kind of means that they're not really into you, so they want to skedaddle and go. But but generally, we broke it down in bits. I said that I think that if you're not ready and you don't want to end up with this person, you should just tell them. Just let them know that, okay, so I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this for the long term. I'm not ready. I'm not sure I'm going to get married. Because now here's the problem. Sometimes you tell this person that you're not ready, and then when you guys break up, like when she realizes that, okay, I've been doing this for 5 years and he's not ready to get married, he's not ready to get committed in this relationship, you guys break up, and then he meets some other lady in like 6 months, they get married, you will be very upset.
You definitely.
You'll be very upset with yourself that you wasted this much time with the person. The problem I have with all of this is the stringing along. You know you're not ready, but then you want this lady still. You want, I didn't say a cuddle bunny. You want a cuddle bunny and all of that. You want this lady still.
Okay.
Like, you want this person in your life, but you're not ready. I mean, you say something like, so babe, I'm not ready, but I love you though. Isn't that just wrong?
Okay. Well, yes, I can understand where you're coming from. No one likes to be carried along just without any prospect in sight, which is normal. I believe that women usually require something from someone who they're immensely committed to or with, and I think I speak for all guys when I say that when you just know. Sometimes you might be going on for so long with one person, but for some reason you don't see yourself getting married to this person, which is not to say, this is not to discredit women or anything. It's not. It's just sometimes even women know what they want. So when you're going for that long, 5 years, and he's still not exactly making any moves, it just sort of implies that he's not ready to do that with you. Not because he doesn't want to, he just can't imagine himself doing it with you, because everyone has their pick. Let me be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
Same thing with women. Everyone knows who they want. They know who they want to end up with for the rest of their lives, because marriage is not, it's not for a short while. This is supposed to go on for a long time. And this is what exactly is a lifetime commitment. And this is why you hear in the recent times that there have been a lot of divorces. Because people they're not getting into the marriage with the person they're supposed to be with. They're just getting into the marriage for the wedding, if that makes any sense. Because there's a difference between there's a difference between getting married and getting married. You're supposed to get married with your soulmate or someone you're meant to spend the rest of your life with, like for a pretty long time. And this is someone you have to be with 24 hours most of the time. You're waking up to this person. It's a huge commitment. So most people now in this generation don't exactly put that on. They just go into it, and then they make these giant mistakes. So like I said, sometimes the guy would come out of that 5-year commitment, and then in the next 6 months he meets someone. That's because sometimes you cannot overemphasize chemistry. When you meet someone, you've met them, and it's just okay, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. They just gel. They just become one. So I believe it has, there's the part to play, the part that's really important is when human beings sort of just have this intense chemistry, and that's what decides it, to be honest.
So like, what are your thoughts on mixed signals?
Okay, like blowing hot and cold,
at the same time.
Okay, so I think it's a very horrible thing, because I don't think anyone deserves to be put through that kind of stress. No one should be, both guys and girls.
Actually.
Both of them, blow hot and cold. So I don't think anyone should be manipulated that way, because it's sort of, it's like you're playing with their mental, They start to question themselves. You're pulling them in, and then you're just throwing them out at the same time. It can drive you nuts. Believe me, I've had my fair share of stuff like this. Believe me, women are not exempted. Women.
As in, I was stating it on the show today that we also have to, this is not just and in all seriousness, this is not a gender specific.
It's not a gender specific
kind of conversation.
It's a personality specific thing, because some people are just awful. That's the thing. So I've met women that they lure you in with with words, with promises, and then along the line they tend to act distant, and then they eventually cheat on you, or they just move out. I've watched this thing happen. It's traumatizing. It's very, very traumatizing. And I've seen guys I know too do this to friends of mine, female friends of mine. So it's not a gender specific thing. It's more of like just how much of a good person you are. And in this day and age, people have really the level of trust and putting your emotions on the table has depreciated. People don't want to do that anymore because everyone is safeguarding, and everybody's trying to no, I can't, hard guy, all that stuff. It's not exactly a good look for all of us, because if we all do that, where's the space for the love? It can't work.
Okay, I have a comment to that. When especially where you use terms like good person, to describe to describe somebody who is not doing, for instance, to describe somebody who is stringing a person along, who is giving mixed signals in a relationship. I feel like, can there maybe be some form of explanation to why guys would behave like this to a woman? Earlier on the show today, I was saying something like a guy can string a lady along for such a long time because he's not sure. But that doesn't mean that at some point he will not be certain. So okay.
I mean, wait.
What I'm getting at, hold on. What I'm getting at is, like, is there a reason? Like, do you think there is a reason why guys give mixed signals? Why guys would stay with somebody they're not sure with until, is there a reason why guys do this? Do you think?
Okay, well, in my experience, because nobody holy, to be honest, and most people do this thing. Everyone has done this. In my experience and from what I've seen, how do I put this? Guys, men in general, they like the power, that emotional grasp. Like they like the fact that they have this person, and then they can go along and get another one if they so please.
And come back.
Yeah, and come back. They like that emotional clamp they have on this particular person that they're with. And then at the same time, like I said, there's a lot of factors that culminate into this thing, because some people have past trauma. PTSD plays a huge part of this, because at the same time, you don't want to give too much and lose. So sometimes when the guys are in long commitments, and then they're still messing around, it's not because they hate who they're with. They just can't keep themselves. They can't. And they know that this person they're with will always be there for them. So it's like a power play.
Right.
It's like, okay, I have you, but I can still do what I want.
But isn't that just taking the person for granted?
Exactly. It is a horrible thing to do. It's very unfair.
Yeah.
If I told you, it's manipulative. It messes up the mentality of who they're with.
Yeah.
It's gaslighting, very progressive gaslighting, and it just becomes catastrophic at the end. So, and I can't blame, because at the same time, women do this too. Women do this too a lot. It's not subjective to just the men. They be in commitments, and then you hear that, oh, she's dating somebody else, or she's married, or he's married. It's not like people just want to have fun these days, and they don't respect the sanctity of an exclusive relationship that they're having. The respect for that part of life is just gone.
Wow.
Because I see it all the time with married men, with married women. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's just the Lagos we live in right now.
Let's talk about exclusivity in a very short while. So I know that we have different things now.
Oh, there's a lot of things.
Situationships, open relationships. I mean, friends with benefits. It's a lot.
Crazy.
It's crazy at this moment. And I mean, I am of the opinion that whatever it is that you want to get into, you should have clarity, like some form of communication. That okay, so hi, so I think I like you, but we're not going to have a serious relationship. It's just going to be friendships and whatever it is that comes in the middle, and that's it. But I realize that a lot of times people do not communicate these things. They just start, and then it gets awful in the middle. And sometimes I think that may be, I'm trying to, contribute to the question that you asked. I think that may be the reason why we have mixed signals sometimes. I mean, that you meet this person, you guys like each other, you're friends of some sort. You started as best friends, and then somehow there was an emotional affair, sexual affair, and then it becomes something. So you're not sure of where you're at. in that relationship, but you just know that you have this person and this person is there. And then, so now here's the problem I have with relationships that has no communication, no clarity, no modus operandi, nothing. The problem I have with it is at some point one person would definitely catch feelings. One person is like expecting that you're home every day. One person is expecting that you call every day. One person is expecting that you text every day. But the other person is, you know, having a wonderful time. And then it becomes a problem. Like, and then he or she gets hurt and gets sad and then assumes that you should know that I'm in love with you. That is no communication whatsoever. I think it's problematic.
I think it's problematic.
But anyways, let's get into the comments that we have this morning. So we asked, what are your thoughts on mixed signals from a guy or a lady? And we have this comment from Annie. Annie reached out to us from Ghana. Annie says, there was a guy that was showing interest in me at a particular time, and other times he ignored me. This pattern continued despite him having a girlfriend, with problems in his relationship according to him. So, a time came when I decided that I was done playing this game. I decided that he couldn't keep messing with my head and needs because that was how I perceived the whole situation. I couldn't continue being a part-time option. I put a stop to it in my own gentle way. Guess what? He hasn't contacted me since then. I didn't realize that he probably wasn't into me after all and was either yanking my chain to see how far I would go. He probably thought I was a source of amusement and a way of making him feel good about himself. I've put some boundaries in place and this behavior has stopped.
Okay, why I like this comment is that Annie knows what was wrong.
Yeah.
She has studied the problem. She knows what he was doing, and I'm happy that she put a stop to it because, quite frankly, that was what he was doing. He was actually yanking her chain, and he was trying to see. He wasn't doing it seriously. That was not a serious attempt, if I'm being very honest. He was using it to bide his time, to catch cruise. You know, he was just talking with her like he could. How do I put this? It's like just. Okay.
Some form of bait.
Like, exactly. He's just baiting her like, okay, come on. But I'm not saying anything in particular, but and then she looking for that emotional support, looking for something meaningful. It looked very appealing. It looked very good, and I can't blame her. You know, and he fortified it with the fact that he said he's having problems in his relationship. So, you understand? That's a very good bait, honestly. Like, oh, I'm having problems. It'll probably end when it is not.
You know, I saw a post by this lady, and she was saying that it's so weird now, or it's so interesting now in our generation that the way relationship works, like for ladies, you just have to give them the barest minimum, and they'll actually fall in love. Do you understand? So the barest minimum, like talk to them every night, you know, and when they text you, try and text back as fast as quickly as you can. And it's actually so worried because all you need to do to win the heart of a lady, because you know the way relationships are now these days, is just do the barest minimum.
Exactly. The bar has been set really low.
This is so unfair. This is so unfair, and I'm very upset. Really, I'm upset because, you know, how would you call you talking to somebody the barest minimum? You'd be surprised how people find it really difficult to communicate.
Exactly.
It is. You mean, hold on. Hold on.
But that's why the bar is set really low.
See, a player understands these things. A guy who like a promiscuous guy, a guy who is a player, quote unquote, you know, baby boy life. They understand these things, so they are going to do the barest minimum to keep that bait.
Hold on.
There.
How is it a problem? How is it bad that I want you to talk to me every night?
It's not.
Hold on.
That's the thing.
Hold on. How is it a terrible thing? How is it barest minimum that I want you to show me some emotions? How is it barest minimum that I want you to care for me and talk to me? Look, there's some girls that just don't want anything. They don't want you to buy them houses. They don't want you to buy them cars. They just want an emotional connection with you.
And
but
you are right.
You see, here is the problem I have, and this is why I'm upset. Some of you guys will go for the ones that want the houses and the cars and the hair and everything, and they will show you Pepe.
I'm going to explain that.
They will show you Pepe. They will show you.
I see what you mean. Now, it's not like when I say the bar is set really low, these days people do not want an emotional connection. The guys don't care anymore. They just don't care. If All they do now is throw money in women's faces. It is insulting, it is degrading, and it is pathetic.
Actually.
Guys do not have game anymore. It's all, come spend the night with me, I will pay you, or come out, let's go out, blah, blah, blah. They don't even care. There is no emotional connection whatsoever. So, like you said, the baby boys that know how this stuff works know that all they have to do is establish an emotional connection. Show up for the woman. You don't have to buy excessive stuff. Just show up for the woman.
How is that bad?
Honestly,
it's not.
It's not. You're not getting.
Men don't do that. They have dumped the rule book. They think that women are motivated by money because, in a way, times are hard and everyone is looking for cash. But at the same time, when it's done excessively, it can be insulting, and it just seems like you have nothing going on for you. You know, there's really nothing going on for you. So why would you just be throwing money in my face? It's quite demeaning. So, like I said, the bar is set really low. So if all you have to do, like you said, is to show up for your woman.
Honestly,
do meaningful things for and with your woman.
But you see, this thing that you have just said can also be manipulative.
Yes, it is. That is actually what it is.
That is a sad thing.
Hold on. Because there are times whereby some people, I have seen, there's this very sad story that I heard one time. I have seen this guy, he is married. Guys, he's married. He's very married. He loves his wife so much. He has a child. They just had a baby.
Oh my God.
He sent her and the child abroad. He really loves her so much. He shows up for his wife on a daily. Like, he's so good that she doesn't suspect nothing. Like, she trusts her husband so much. I saw this on social media. I think that was about 3 weeks ago. She trusts her husband so much, and you know, this guy moved to I think it was Abuja, and he is the ladies' man. He tells everyone he's single. He has 2 places where he can either stay here or there. In fact, he has a stable girlfriend that is in one place that she thinks that she's the queen of the Zanga in one place, and then he has another place where he's gallivanting and all of that, and he's very married, and the wife is abroad, and all these women, he's giving them so much attention. He's home early, he's doing so many things at the same time.
That's heavy.
And he's working.
That's heavy.
That's heavy. See, there are actually guys like this. Like, there are guys that understand the game. They understand that, you know, and they're able to, you know, like you know, honestly, I can't do it because it requires a lot of time.
I'm really lazy. I can't.
I swear, do you get, like, it requires a lot of time and energy. I can't.
It requires you to be very creative. Like, I have work to do. Like, why would I be?
I'd rather be creative and work as in actually doing things like this.
Do really nice stuff than actually just be manipulative with different women. That's a lot of energy. I can't even speak for that because it sounds very psychotic. Like, why would you
That's crazy.
be all over the place? Like, don't you have, I mean, if you're a fresh boy or a fine man, you're not supposed to be everywhere. Everyone shouldn't be seen.
To be exclusive.
You know, you're supposed to be, let them come and find you. But you're married, yes, keep yourself. But for someone who doesn't have a marriage commitment, if you're a fresh boy, let them come find you.
You know what even brought this whole thing out that made it very embarrassing? What made it very embarrassing is the part that, so the person that put it online found out, like, she actually, like, he's a fresh guy, he's cute and all of that, and then he started, you know, coming on to her, but she wasn't interested because at that period she was probably going through, so she just went through a bad breakup. So she wasn't really interested in all of that. But you know this thing where someone is there for you, always calling you, always texting you, always doing all of these things and all of that, and then they go out together. So one time she was at his place, and then my man kept pictures of him and his wife somewhere in a box and all of that, and then he was telling her to look for something in the house, and somehow she found it, and then she now started digging. She wanted to know that, okay, this guy, then she started digging. She found the wife and the child, then she found the other girlfriends, about 3 other people, and this man has been begging her. He has a wife. Do you know how embarrassing that is? He has been begging her, like, I love you, I would do anything for you, you're the love of my life, and all of those things. He was begging her.
Okay.
You know what?
But I need drink water first. Let's.
Let me drink.
All right. So Gabriel from Lagos. Gabriel is saying, I think ladies overthink this. There can be two possibilities when it comes to mixed signals. Maybe he does like you and is interested, but is an introvert, or maybe he's just like that, and this is random and casual for him. So to figure this out, you can wait it out and see whether he will approach you. If waiting seems like an extreme thing to do, you can talk to this guy when you feel that he's giving you mixed signals and the stuff is really bothering you. You may be surprised by what you find out. I just think that ladies should not rush to conclusions and they should not develop feelings yet. For someone they think is giving them mixed signals, at least until you know for sure. Honestly, like, my advice to women who are watching this program right now is ask. You know the what are we question.
Yeah,
like
what are we? It's very vital.
Ask. Even if it's me, ask.
Where are we going?
If you don't ask, you will be taken on a roller coaster, and you will just be there, and you can't do anything else. You know what he said about the guy being an introvert, blah blah blah, and waiting it out.
Yeah.
That, yes, fine, maybe he's an introvert, but it is not enough reason to carry someone along without making it defined. It is not enough reason. And from what I've seen in my experience, women too are somewhat to blame, because they like to go for the guys who are damaged, in quote. Now let me put this in a let me give you a real life scenario. So a woman walks into a room. There's two guys. Both of them have a lot going for them in their lives. You know, they're rich, they're fresh, equal stakes. You know, one of them is emotionally complete. Really good guy, shows up. He's wonderful. You know, he's bright. He's very nice to all the, you know. And then there's the other one who has some serious daddy issues, trauma. He's broken. He looks like he's struggling, but his life is still going pretty well. But he's like kind of deep. Who do you think she'd go for?
Daddy issues.
Exactly. Why? Because daddy issues seems more interesting. He's not all out on the table for everything. His cards aren't on the table.
He's intriguing.
He's intriguing. He's deep. He's mysterious. Exactly. That's what they want to know.
Something to fix as well.
He's something to fix. That is it. Because women are inherently fixers. If you have nothing to fix, what is she sticking around for? She wants to fix you if you're broken. So she would go for the traumatized guy and find out what's wrong with him. And then she gets served breakfast, and she starts to see, why did you do me this way? Oh my God.
Or tea or coffee.
Oh my, exactly. Why did you do me? What do you think happened? You went for someone who isn't complete emotionally. This is also partially your fault. You know, so I can't really, at the same time, people need to work on themselves rather than just, you know, jump into commitments and stuff like that. People need to work on themselves. Guys as well, because most guys don't face their trauma. If they just pack it up and then they drop it on some unsuspecting woman, and it's terrible.
Let me take this comment from Bayo. Bayo is saying, in my estimation, most guys don't. However, it's not to say that there aren't guys that do this for the sake of flirtation, fun, intrigue, and a few other reasons that I can't currently fathom. My guess would be that the guy that does do this is someone that is very confident in his abilities to attract women. For that reason, in order to make things very intriguing and fun for himself, he'll play around with sending mixed signals as a game of sorts. You might also be referring to a basic dating tactic of playing hard to get, which is done through push and pull routines, etc. So long as it's not meant to be cold-hearted or aggressively manipulative, I don't see it as a big problem. So I get the conversation on, you know, playing hard to get, and I mean, a lot of women do that, and that has been the norm for a very long time, because I mean, they tell you not to, you know, put all your cards on the table, so you are, you know, someone that somebody values. I mean, they will tell you something that is valuable is not easy to find. People have to dig deep before they find treasures, blah blah blah, and all of those things. I mean, if it works for you, okay. As long as, so my problem with this kind of things is people just say all these things without actually thinking about it very deeply, and how much you hurt the other person that is right in front of you. You do not think about how you are doing this. You just do it because You know, hey, I'm not where he has to fight for me. He has to come for me and all that. So you're there and you're not there. You're there and you're not there. You're there and you're not there. It can be a problem.
That never works anymore, by the way. It doesn't work now. The whole playing hard to get is a very archaic method of dating.
But you know some guys like it though.
The guys who like it don't know what they have in them. They don't have self-respect. And let me tell you why. So if you're trying to get a woman, you know, big props to my women. I mean, you have to chase your woman to show that you care, you know, but you're a man. You need to also show that, yeah, you have substance, just like she does. So it's not a matter of you bringing 70% and she bringing 30. It's 50-50. So if I'm chasing you, you have to chase me, because you have to show me that you equally care, because we're trying to do something here. I'm not going to go out of my way like an insane person because I want to show you how much I care. You have to show me how much you care as well. I'm not a piece of wood. You know, I have feelings too. So if you don't show me that you care, why would I go out of my way to show you that I care more? And then when I have you, after I finish stressing, you're like, oh, you're so nice. Now I got no. That's immensely stressful. You can't have that, because at the end of the day, you're exhausted emotionally trying to get this person. So I need the men to have more respect for themselves and to know that they have feelings as well, and they are prizes. So if you're bringing something to the table, the woman should bring something as well. So it's just 50-50. That's what I think.
Okay, you know, some baby boomers would say that, you know, that, you know, the men in this generation are not, like, they're not real men anymore, because they're not doing the chasing. They're not doing the chasing and things like that, you know. And, you know, they've actually been beautiful love stories where you hear that, oh, the woman did not agree for a long time, and then finally she agreed and we got married. So what do you think about that? You know, is that anyway a signal of what masculinity is like today?
Well, now, you know, the times are changing and everything is, you know, progressive. The fact where men chase women, you know, it's old but gold. Like I said, it's archaic, but it's old but gold. You know, it still works. You chase the woman. It gives at the end of the day, a very romantic love story. You know, it makes a good story. You know, but now that the tides are shifting and everyone is becoming more self-aware, it can't keep applying. It cannot. Fine, a good love story is made, but at the same time, it still stands where I said the man has to know what he's worth. You need to know what you're worth.
Okay.
I mean, I like that you mentioned that. Before we get to the comments very quickly, because there's this question I want to ask you. So, how about the woman that actually shoots her shot? I mean, she sees this guy, and this guy is just there. He's not saying anything. And it's not like I mean, women are doing it now. It used to be the norm. A woman that did it then would have been shamed or whatever. So a lot of women still don't do it because they're always scared and they would want to come out on social media and blah. But some women don't mind. They will keep going even after you've broken their heart and all of that. They will still do it anyways. What do you think about that?
Okay, first, shout out to the women who shoot their shots, by the way. They are golden, you know.
That's it.
It's actually a very brave thing to do, because most people don't do that anymore. Those who don't do this really scared, like you said. So if you're planning on being a shot shooter as a woman, you should be able to read when energy is being matched. It goes without saying. So if you're trying to shoot your shot at this guy that you met and you like him a lot, he doesn't know you exist, but you just came to him and now he knows. If he's not feeling your vibe the same way you were feeling him from the start, after a while, you should know when to back off, because there is no point sticking around for someone who doesn't want you.
Right.
You know, if you're able to shoot your shot confidently and it always goes in, you should be able to shoot it anywhere else where it would be appreciated. So you don't have to chill out and be waiting and be treated like nonsense with somebody else, I don't know, doesn't want it.
Actually.
You know?
Don't be treated like nonsense.
Exactly.
That's it. All right. This comment is from Barry. Barry reached out to us from the United States, and it says, in the past, I used to stress so much about this. I was constantly wondering if a girl was showing me signs of interest or not. Then one day, a girl who seemed interested in me came along. I assumed this based on her non-verbal language. For instance, she smiled a lot whenever I talked to her. She bites her upper lip, pushed her hair to the back a lot, most times when I'm around. Any body language book would consider these huge hints. So one night when she was working and was alone and not attending to anyone, I decided to invite her out for a coffee. She immediately replied, no. Just that, simple and plain. No explanations added. I must admit, I wish all women were that upfront. And I was surprised. I thought she probably was occupied at the time, so I invited her once again and she said, no. A little bit angry, but then I realized that the problem wasn't her, but me. I was the one who made all the assumptions. I assumed she was attracted to me. Probably her hair was annoying her, so she pushed them back. It could also be that her lips were dry, and that's why she bit them. Generally, signals may mean something, and they may also mean nothing. Don't make them the holy grail. Some women may also assume I'm attracted to them because I spent a few times talking to them and smiling. I know this because some of them have expressed their annoyance at the fact that I have never asked them out on a date. There were even some that just stopped talking to me all of a sudden.
I really like this, actually.
Yeah, I think Barry's he's very very aware of what he's talking about. The signals thing. If you read into it too much, you know, you tend to get shot in the foot. You can't read too deep, because now he evaluated the whole thing in his head. All this was just happening in his head. You know, he's looking at things that aren't there. Not to you know, say that those signs don't exist, because some of them do. Some women give off you know, gestures, and you know, they tend to let you know that, yeah, they do like you. There's a lot more body contact, you know, there's a lot more eye contact, you know. They tend to be more around you. But sometimes some people are just naturally flirtatious. It doesn't mean they want to go out with you.
Yeah.
Some women are just naturally flirtatious.
That's just
that's just the way they are. And some men are just naturally nice. So it seems like they're making an effort, but they're not.
They're just being themselves.
Just being themselves.
Yeah.
You know, some guys are just super nice, and some women take it for, oh, he likes me, he wants to ask me out. He does not. And then you end up looking the fool. It's really sad to see.
He's not even into you.
He's not into you at all.
Yeah.
He has who he wants. You know? So I believe people need to be able to learn how to differentiate being trying to get you and just trying and being themselves.
Actually. All right, so Tawfiq from Kwara is saying, a girl I was seeing in university back then started talking all lovey-dovey on the phone with me almost every night. Those times, that midnight calls were a thing. Lol, whenever we talked on the phone, she would say stuff like, so what are you doing later today? I can't sleep and I miss you. No, you hang up first. No, you. We see each other every day and study together and went for dinners, and I sent her home, and a couple of months later I confessed my feelings for her. She said that's just weird and that she isn't looking for a relationship. You won't believe that she got herself a boyfriend 2 weeks later as a woman. Yeah,
she didn't like you like that.
She didn't like him. She didn't see him in that way.
That happened a lot in
She didn't see him that way.
That happened a lot in
Okay. This particular story. Okay. So if I'm being very honest, this guy, he was just an emotional shock absorber.
Yeah.
He was just there for her to express how he wasn't. He's not a prospect.
Body.
He was exactly.
Did you call him emotional shock absorber?
He's an emotional crutch. Like, it's just for support that, okay, you're here now, let me sort of express how I feel, knowing that, okay, you'd be there, but I don't really want you though, but, you know, stick around, let me show you how I feel. That's exactly what she did.
He was a bestie.
Yeah, he was a bestie. He was a bestie, but then from what she was doing, it seemed like he was the one she wanted, because late night calls are just indirect signals that we're feeling each other. It's demon time.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't tell me that you can't be calling me at night every night and not expect me to think something if we're talking about stuff like that, you know. So I believe what she did was very criminal, and that woman deserves to be put in jail. When you play with a man's feelings like that, that is mean.
That is upset.
So, I agree. I mean,
it is triggering. It's very triggering. Because in the university, women were always doing like that.
Actually,
we were all young and everything. please, that was very hurtful. And I don't want to remember.
Actually, we'll take Patrick's comments. We'll take Patrick's comments. All right, so Patrick from the United Kingdom. Girl at work and I had been talking more and more over the course of 2 weeks, getting increasingly flirty both in person and text. At work, there was a lot of unnecessary physical contact that she would initiate, such as a pat on the back, hugs, etc. One of my colleagues noticed and said, "Guy, she's into you, ask her out." So I did. She starts laughing then. After seeing the, I guess, bewildered look on my face, stops and puts her hand over her mouth, then says, "Oh, you were serious? Oh, honey, God. I don't date below an 8. You are a 6 at best." Oh. Wow. I know, bullet dodged and all that, but still, that's a heavy blow to the old
Bro, that's an uppercut, man.
She's rude. I'm sorry, but she's rude.
She's very rude.
She's very rude. There was no need. You can have just said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not really feeling you." Like, why do you have to say you're a 6 at best? Bro, a 6 at best.
It's the fact that she graded me. Like, she actually graded him. I said, "You're." Oh my goodness.
At best, you know.
I'm so sorry, but women are not good people.
Bro, I'm with you. I'm with you on this.
I'm so sorry. That is incredibly painful. I don't think anyone should have to take such a comment as a person when you have pure intentions. That is just me.
6 at best. That means it's actually like a good 4. You know, it's like, but 6 at best.
I'm sorry, that was so funny. That was so funny, but honestly, if I'm going to speak, honestly, that's unfair.
Very unfair.
That's really unfair. But you can't say women are not good people.
Good people, but women.
Nah. Y'all take it to the extreme, man.
Excuse me, you cannot say that for everyone.
Obviously not. Obviously, that is an exaggeration for sure.
The thing is, I think that sometimes when it has to do with these things, just ask. Yeah. Look, in uni, it was terrible. A lot of women and men were emotional cushions. Yes. And that's because, I mean, I like that you mentioned the part where some people go for damaged goods. And I'm talking about men and women. Yeah. Some guys, they know that this lady is really not interested. Like, they know. Okay. Like, I mean, they're looking for the bad bee in class.
Yes.
Like the girl that is always so fancy. She drives a car a day. In uni, 100 level. She drives a car. You know for a fact that her parents aren't rich. Where did she get that car from? She's always wearing, she has the newest phone every time.
Long nails.
She has long nails. She's always very fancy. Yeah. She's always very cute. True. All the big guys are always around her. But that is the girl you are going for. You're not going for the girl that's on your level. I beg you.
We need to go.
I want to mention one more thing. She's always coming to meet you because you're the brainiac in class. Yeah. And she's always calling you at night because she knows that anytime she says, "Hey, sweetie," you're going to pick up the phone, but you're going to teach her how to do maths. And you're going to teach her probably in exam because she's not studying.
That sucks.
And how about that?
Do you know what I think someone in university took ball at his boyfriend. This thing is very personal. It comes from a place of hot.
No, it's just what I've seen over and over again. Because I mean, I have a lot of male friends, and then they talk about it like, "This girl, she's evil, blah blah blah." And then I ask you, what are the odds? She used you. You knew, and she was calling you sweetie, and you were always very happy. She doesn't talk to me in class.
You know, another thing that happens is that, you know, as a guy, you are exerting so much pressure. She has said no. She has said no. She has said it won't work. And then one day you now get angry and like you now start saying that, "Oh, she's a terrible person." Can you imagine?
She said no.
But she told you from the start.
That's
though.
obviously not the woman's fault. That's your fault. You don't know when to take it. Hint like she said no.
No. He believes in putting pressure. Like when I put pressure,
the baby boomer pressure.
That's baby boomer pressure.
Like
honestly,
when I put pressure, she's going to agree that women don't know what they want. Women know what they want.
That's why I'm talking about self-respect. You know, adding so much pressure. She doesn't already want you. It's that clear. If she says she's not interested, back off.
No means no, you know.
No.
All right, we need to go.
Daniel, thank you so much. This has
been a lot of fun. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for having me.